Luna Snow has one of the best ultimates in Marvel Rivals. With it, you can either catapult your team onto the objective for a game-winning push, or you can neutralize an entire enemy team push in just seconds. Bunch of free bonus health and gobs of healing for a grand total of 12 seconds, which is truly outrageous. I decided to spend a bunch of time in the practice range trying to figure out the worst and best ways to counter an enemy Luna using her ultimate. And while she is difficult to bring down for sure, she's by no means invincible. So why don't we go over what options will work at taking out Luna mid-ult, and maybe more importantly, what options won't work, so you don't end up wasting your time or your ult trying to counter her. Starting off, we have the best to not even try tier, which, as you can imagine, yeah, probably a waste of your time. The Hulk can't really do a lot to Luna in her ult. If he's in monster mode, aka the strongest Hulk form, he can get her decently low, but definitely not enough to quite finish her off. While in monster mode, the Hulk also can't do that move where you grab the person and slam them around by their ankles, because Luna can't be targeted by any move that moves, contains, or knocks you around when in that mode. Go ahead and remember that as a rule of thumb because it's going to come up a lot. Groot does not do well. He can get her to low-ish health if he really works for it, but again, no. Keep in mind though, because Luna can get to some very brief moments of low health when in her ult, that multiple characters together could technically beat her out of her ult. You just have to weigh the risk of using two ults or two really good abilities to take down someone just using one ult. And also think about getting your ass beat by Luna's team, who will no doubt be coming along with her in her ult. By the way, if Groot uses his ult to snag Luna before she pops hers, that is the only way she can really briefly be contained, aka you get her before she activated her ult. If Groot tries to pop his ultimate after Luna has already popped hers, it won't be able to grab her. Thor is also not really effective. His attacks aren't strong or fast enough to get the job done, and his ult is actually on the weak side. Thor cannot knock Luna around at all with his melee attacks, so don't try to do anything like knock her off the map because it just won't work. Doctor Strange also does not do well. His attacks kind of tickle her, and using your Eye of Agamotto is probably a waste because it doesn't stun her out of her dancing. Venom as well, not effective, maybe one of the worst to try and counter her out of the bunch. His attacks just tickle, and his ult barely does anything at all. I kind of think that ult needs to be buffed a little bit, by the way, don't you? Moving on, Captain America is a hard do not recommend. His shield attacks barely touch her at all, and Cap can't knock her around with any of his moves, so no. Storm may be an Omega level mutant, but she can't take down a singing pop star apparently. Luna will be just fine, even if Storm is using her ult. Black Panther, no good. His ult doesn't really specialize in doing big damage. It just kind of lets him reset his dashes and such to allow for better harassment of the enemy team. He won't get the job done and also can't knock her around in any way. Magic is also a no-go. She can't take advantage of her attack that normally pops up their target on a hit because Luna can't be moved when dancing. Do not recommend. Squirrel Girl, really fun character, sadly not effective. The Squirrel Chuck move doesn't really do anything to Luna, neither does her ult. She is a no-go overall. Black Widow is a total do not attempt. Also, why are you picking Black Widow to begin with? Did you misclick on Hawkeye? Spider-Man, really fun hero, horrible choice overall to counter Luna in her ult. His moves can't knock her around, he can't web her up and pull her over to him, his ult does basically nothing to her, do not recommend. Star-Lord really can't get the job done either. Remember that because his ult doesn't get headshots, it can't really do enough damage to bring her down. Psylocke, also not really doable. I'd say if you had somebody on your team using their ult along with you using yours, which does pretty consistent damage, you could get it done. But again, you just have to think about if you want to burn two ults to take down one player, that whole thing. Wolverine does jack to Luna in her ult. Half of Wolvie's kit is just diving around and harassing people, but again, Luna can't be moved, she won't even feel it. Iron Fist, also not great. No knocking around, no real damage, no nothing. Cloak and Dagger won't be able to do much, unfortunately. Even with Luna standing directly on top of the path of their ult, the chip damage won't do much of anything at all. Also, that one attack she has to weaken her enemies, that doesn't affect Luna's incoming damage taken if she's already in her ult. Adam Warlock, also pretty bad at hurting a dancing Luna. I wouldn't really bother with anything he tries to do. Finally, in bottom tier, we have Jeff, who can't get it done in terms of raw damage output, and definitely not his ult because he won't be able to suck up Luna if she's dancing. However, even though Jeff can't absorb Luna with his ult, he can suck up nearby players that she might be buffing, just FYI. Okay, moving on, we come to the next tier, which I'm calling doable but not reliable. Starting off, we have Hela. Hela's ult isn't strong enough to get the job done, but if using regular attacks, after you first take off her extra layer of blue health, basically combo her down with your delayed explosion attack followed by repeated headshotting, it is possible to kill Luna. The only problem is you need to be incredibly accurate, which can be very hard to do when Luna is just sliding and dancing and moving around very fast. Next up, Winter Soldier. If he's being fed by a nearby Rocket Raccoon and has unlimited ammo, his primary weapon attack used repeatedly will be able to kill her. The only problem is, again, you have to be ungodly accurate, as Luna can just move around a lot, and missing one shot means you have to start all over again at trying to kill her. You basically have to be perfect. Using Winter Soldier's ult, though, can mark her to die slightly earlier, which is neat, but again, could result in a wasted ult. You need a lot of team shotting. Discount Aquaman is technically doable, but not really recommended, I'd say. If you're hitting her with both your turrets and your primary attack, and you smack her point blank in the head with a flying whale, then yeah, you can kill her. But you have to be extremely on point, because Luna can just dance away from the whale. Rocket Raccoon can get it done if he pops his ult and just bullet dumps into Luna's head, but the problem is Luna can just move around and dodge the attacks. Missing any shots is gonna basically reset your timer, so you have to be perfect. Finally, in this tier, we have Moon Knight. If he has an Ankh up that he's shooting repeatedly and the Luna Snow is standing directly under his ult attack zone at the same time, then yeah, Luna can die. Again, though, not recommended, because Luna can simply move out of the way of both attacks with plenty of time to spare. Moving up slightly, we come to the next tier, which I'm calling doable-ish. In that tier, we have Penny Parker, who can technically take down Luna by stacking down multiple arachno mines on top of each other, and if Luna walks over those mines. If Luna has the full health value of her blue bonus health, you'll need 6 mines stacked on top of each other in order to take her down in one hit. If Luna's extra blue health is already gone, then you'll only need 3 arachno mines to kill her. Not too shabby, at least worth a try. Next in the tier, we have Hawkeye. If Luna has her full extra blue health bar, you won't be able to do it, but if her extra blue health is gone, Hawkeye can technically one-shot her out of her ultimate with a full power regular arrow headshot. You can definitely try to do this, but remember that you need the shot to be at full power, and you may be overwhelmed by the enemy team pushing while trying to line up a headshot. Magneto is doable-ish, but his chances of success are pretty heavy on the team that you're fighting. On its own, Magneto's ult will smack Luna kinda hard, but not be enough to kill her. In order to fully one-shot her, the enemy team needs to shoot and power up Magneto's ult to around 75%, give or take. We did a fair amount of testing, and 75% seemed to be the benchmark of getting it done in one shot. In short, if you pop your ult but the other team stops shooting and doesn't power you up, you will fail, so only doable-ish. The final member of this tier is Scarlet Witch. Technically, she can just straight up one-shot Luna out of her healing dance by using her own ultimate. The only reason I'm keeping this out of the higher tiers is because if a Luna Snow is popping her ultimate, it very likely means the entire enemy team is right behind her. If you try to counter with a Scarlet Witch ultimate, you better be doing it in a really freaking safe location, otherwise you will get team-shotted to hell immediately. In the second to last tier, I'm calling technically yes. First in that tier, we have Loki, who can't really kill Luna Snow when she's ulting, but he can simply copy her powers. After he's done that, he can pop his own Luna Snow ult, effectively canceling out the enemy Luna's charge. You just kind of turn the whole thing into a stalemate. And yeah, you need to technically sacrifice your ult to do it, but it's a very safe, almost guaranteed to work exchange. And next we have Luna Snow, who like Loki can just counter pop with her own Popstar ultimate, negating the enemy team's push. Finally, we come to the hell yeah tier, quality options that are easy to make work, provided you don't make a huge mistake. At the bottom of hell yeah tier, we have Iron Man, whose ult can absolutely one-shot Luna out of her dance. The only thing you maybe need to worry about holding you back is A, you can get killed as you're trying to line up and fire your shot, and B, players like Doctor Strange can potentially block your ult from hitting Luna with their giant shield and things like that. But if you have a clear shot and you land it, GG. Then at the tippy top of the hell yeah tier, we have the Punisher, whose ult does a laughably high amount of damage and can rip Luna in half almost immediately. The only things you gotta worry about here is Luna running away from you very quickly, or you dying to enemy team shotting if you're over focusing on targeting one person in particular, while several enemies are already in front of you and engaging you. But for the most part, I genuinely get excited if I'm ever playing Punisher, have my ult ready, and hear a Luna Snow pop her ult. Go ahead and give today's video a like if you feel slightly more prepared to take this information and ruin some support players' day out in a match of quick play. And of course, share with a teammate if you feel so inclined. Thanks very much for watching. Happy New Year. Peace.